Hello again, Drama 2120. It's Paula Cardozo, your substitute librarian this year. This admittedly low production value screen cap video is going to review some of what we covered in our first session. We'll be together again on October 26th at 11 o'clock in Library Classroom L950 for a hands-on searching session. Alright, so let's just quickly recap a few important things. First of all, how to get help in the library. So remember that we talked about the Ask Us button here, all sorts of different ways to get in touch with our research desk. This is the first place you're going to go when you need help in the library for anything at all. And if you want to go in person, you can go to the research desk, which is just at the very front of the library when you walk in. We also have some self-help guides that are there, and we went through a few of these, so I'll just click on guides here. Remember that first column takes you through the very beginning journey of your research all the way through to citing sources. Your MLA citation guide is sitting right here. I also want you to look at this number 5, evaluating sources, especially because you're going to have to be finding some good scholarly sources for this one. The third column is guides by very particular type of resource, and then of course the second column, those are all the guides made by your subject librarians. I'm just going to pop open Fine Arts, and the one for theater and drama resources is right here. Don't forget, I'm here to help if you need me. Also another prompt to ask us as well. And you can go through this guide and discover all sorts of different things that you're going to be needing. But in the meantime, we're just going to go back and step back, and we're going to replicate the search that we did together in class. I'm going to click on the search tab, and that brings us to the summon search. So the summon search is that sort of all-you-can-eat buffet that's talking to our catalog for books, ebooks, and videos, but it's also talking to quite a few of our databases for articles. And when you search this one, you're going to be getting quite a few hits. So I think we did Antigone and Sophocles. Did I spell that right? And I had thrown in sort of my catch-all word that I use a lot, which was criticism. So remember that when we're searching for library things, we're usually not typing in big long phrases, although in Summon sometimes you can use natural language, but I want you to get into this habit. So I'm just going to hit search. And it has returned 6,596 different results, so that's a lot. Remember that we can start filtering our search down here if we'd like to, and in addition to this number of results, I'm going to start going through and looking at the first couple of hits and seeing if they're closely related enough. And that's one of those little things that will tell me if I'm on the right track, not just with my resources, but with my topic itself, whether it's either too narrow, too broad, whatever. Okay, so our very first one that we got was a book, and it's actually out right now, but we could still go down to the library stacks to go and see what else is there. So I'd mentioned main collection, that's all down on floor 9, but in the meantime, let's just take this call number, which is the library sort of address of that item on the shelf, and I'll just go and recap what I showed you in class. So you can either write down that whole call number all in a line just like this, or you can write it down the same way it's going to appear on the spine label in little chunks like this. This is what I prefer to use because this is also how I find the book. So remember we talked about just finding the P's first and then going to the PA section. And then when you kind of get to that section of the library, down on floor 9, which is the bottom floor, you'll be looking at the little white placards on the end of each shelf and just finding the range. So we'd read this as PA 4413, and then we just keep going. And don't forget, if you go down to the stacks and you can't find the book that you're looking for, please don't feel embarrassed. Just come right back up to the main floor, approach anybody at that service desk, and they'll be happy to help you. So I'll just minimize that. And just as a quick reminder, I'll just go back to the home page here. Down at the bottom of the library homepage, there's the library floor plans. So we can click on that map. Here's the main floor. This is where you come in. Remember, the help desk is right here. But whenever it says main collection for something in the stacks, we're just going to go and click on level 9. So anything main collection, most of the physical books in the library are going to be down on that bottom floor. And it starts over with the A's and it horseshoes all the way around to the end to the Z's. So when you go downstairs and you've got your call number range, what you're going to do is just look to the ceiling. There's blue signs and it will give you just a really rough letter range. And go to that area, in which case we're talking about probably the P's, and just go and hunt it down line by line. And again, if you need any help, you're just going to go back upstairs and let one of us know. The nice thing about finding even just one hit for a book is that you go down to the stacks and you look and see everything else that is there, and sometimes you find a better resource that just didn't come up on your keywords. Alright, so let's go back to our search. So I'm just going to keep scrolling down here. I've got lots and lots of different things that are coming up. And remember, when we see, say, a journal article that we like, if there's a full text online, go ahead and click on that. That's great. But again, I want you to get into that habit of clicking on the more detail, giving the abstract a quick read to see if you're on the right track. Remember that all that information that you need to do your MLI citation, it's living right here. And then of course, when we find something we like, we're going to take a look at the subject headings they've used to describe this article. And if any of them are working a little bit better, we're going to swap out some of ours and keep playing with it. And I had mentioned that Summon comes with sort of a prepackaged citation manager, or citation generator. So if we click on these quotes and we tell it we want an MLA one, it will go and it will attempt to generate one. But as I had mentioned in class, we have to read these really carefully because sometimes they can make mistakes. So there's nothing to stop you from cutting and pasting this in, but you're going to go and you're going to read it and see if it's right. And what you can do is, right from the home page here in the library, the cite sources, it's another way to get to those citation guides. And then we could check and see if our journal article citation was right and just fix it from there. Okay. So I'm going to go back to the Theatre and Drama Resources homepage and just quickly talk about getting into your subject-specific databases. So that Summon tool is searching a lot of different stuff. And what I also want you to do is get into your articles. So I'm just going to go to Drama right here. And right on the Drama LibGuide, Sandra's provided you with a database subject listing. So I'm just going to click that one really quick. And we're going to go and hit Drama right here. And then what I want you to do is take a look at all of these different databases and feel free to pop open this More tab and take a look and see what they have in here and if it's kind of lining up with your particular research question. Now what you can expect when you go into the databases, and I'm just going to take a quick peek into MLA International. It's going to make me sign in. Oh, great. So this is a licensed database that's available only to current student, faculty, and staff here. That's why we want you coming into the library so that you don't run up against a paywall. Remember, you're never paying for anything. Now, if I go and I replicate my search here, hopefully I can spell Sophocles. I don't seem to be able to most of the time. Notice that I only got about 34 hits. the thing with the subject-specific databases is you're going to get a smaller amount of hits, but hopefully they might be more relevant to your particular discipline of study. If I was getting a really small number, I can just take criticism out, and I can take a look and see if that has an impact on my results, and it did. And of course, I can add anything more specific. And once again, if I do find something that I'm liking, I'm really going to take a hard look at that. So let's just click on this particular one. See if they've provided us with any other subject headings that might be interested in. And of course, if it's an article I want and we've got the full text, I'm going to go ahead and click that off. So that was just a quick recap of some of the things that we did together. Just one more prompt that if you need any help, go click on this Ask Us or come and see us in person at the library. And of course, you're also more than welcome to email me. Thanks a lot. Happy searching.